Are you ready? It's time for Disturbin the Burbs.
Here we go again. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Disturbin the Burbs one more time. It is episode 14. Ooh. Yeah, I'm one of your hosts, Jim Sharon.
And I'm Jen Sharon.
The other host. And it's great getting out here into the Studio del Disturbin el Burbo.
Nice.
All right, it's just Disturbin the Burbs Studio.
You have to work on that.
/ bunker. Yeah. It's nice and cozy out here. We've got everything hermetically
Yeah,
sealed.
hermetically sealed.
Yes.
Plastic, wallpaper, and duct tape.
Yeah, for those of you that have seen it, you would be amazed at how protected we are out here. So don't worry, folks. We are safe in the studio. There are no germs in here. We are not in jeopardy of getting the coronavirus in the Disturbin the Burbs studio. So
I'm sure
you can rest easy knowing that Jen and I as entertainers will continue to be here week after week after week for your listening pleasure. Man, here we are. April 5th. Do it, Jen. Do it. Oh, sneeze. Oh, yeah. Bless you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Did that feel good?
Sure.
Almost as good as sex, wasn't it? Here we are, April 5th, man. Who knew that when we first talked about the coronavirus way back,
podcast,
on our January 29th, I think that might have been episode 8 or something like that.
And we were totally joking and making light.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Kind of. I mean, we were.
Yeah, I mean, at that time, it was really still kind of new. We had the first case up here in Snohomish.
Right. So we were talking about it as a real thing. Mm-hmm. But I don't think we could have imagined at that point.
Looking back, it looked like there were, I think, something around like 100 or so deaths over in China. So they were just getting into it, kind of where we were a week or two ago. Mm-hmm. And so, we're a few months off the track of where China was. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know what to believe. There have been stories that, they've completely flattened out and there are no new cases. But then I've also heard that China hasn't been very forthcoming with the news that they're reporting, originally how many folks had coronavirus. Mm. So I'm really not actually paying too much attention to what's actually going on over in China.
Yeah. I mean, we have to just, at some point, just deal with what we're dealing with here at home.
Right. Absolutely. And who knew that this is where we'd be on April 5th after, first really kind of hearing what was going on the 29th. I never thought that we'd have, this kind of stay-at-home order, decree, or what does Inslee call it?
A stay-at-home order.
Okay, stay-at-home order.
Yeah.
And that's Governor Jay Inslee of the state of Washington, for those of you that do not live in Washington. No. And tune into Disturbin the Burbs.
Right.
So that's our governor, and he has, I actually think he's done a very good job.
I agree. He's been proactive as he could.
Yes.
We were one of the first states to have the schools, closing for a extended period of time.
And that's that was, what was it, March 13th? It seems so long ago when it's not really that long ago. That was Carter's last day of school. Was
I think back
March 13th.
then, the districts were still making the call, but we were, they were doing it based on Inslee's guidance.
Mm-hmm.
And
back then, it sounds like it was months and months and months ago, and it's only been a couple of weeks.
It's been 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks. So, I think the last day I was in the office was March 17th.
Yeah.
And I was kind of one of the last holdouts. I'm not going to work from home. I'm going to come into the office.
Wow.
And, that changed.
You manage a team of people.
Yeah, that changed very, very quickly. And, I kind of begrudgingly, did the social distancing with my neighbors. I think we kind of hung on till the very end there, until it became pretty clear that we shouldn't be doing that.
Be accepted.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be accepted. So yeah, it's been a good couple solid weeks now where I haven't gotten much social interaction other than online or virtually.
Yes, right.
It's been, and besides you
I'm
and Carter.
grateful that the grocery stores are remaining open, and
we're lucky that
wine.
we're lucky that we have a grocery store like 2 minutes from our house.
It's
a nice big Safeway, and so it's actually nice to have that there when we absolutely need it.
But going in there is also surreal, seeing the plexiglass shields by all the in front of all the cashiers,
the sneeze guards,
X's on the floor 6 feet apart at the checkouts.
I actually wish like it was that way all the time. You know, where they're wiping down the carts now every time.
Right, yeah.
Everybody's wearing rubber gloves, you know, staying away from me, you know. Only one, family member per family is going to the grocery store. They're leaving their brats at home. So it's actually kind of working out for the better. And I kind of hope it stays around for a while. But anyway, we've been going to Safeway. I think we have this little triangle. We have a Costco that's a few minutes away from us. And then Lowe's, because, when you're stuck at home, there's nothing like
a home improvement project.
Yes. Painting, getting this done, tearing up floors, installing new floors. What's next on the list? I think we're going to work on the kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see when that happens, because it's going to take outside help.
Well, all the outside help seems to be shutting down.
Yeah.
That's less and less available. So we'll see what we're able to do during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it's just been kind of crazy. And I mean, thanks everybody for hanging in there, and thanks for looking forward to these new episodes. It's great for us to get out here and actually talk about it, even if it's, whether it's for your entertainment or whether it's just Jen and I kind of making a digital diary.
Diary is a good word for it. Yeah.
Of
Journal,
what's going on.
capsule.
Yeah. So this is this is a pretty good time capsule.
I mean, it may not be the most humorous of subjects, but I think
it's a real knee slapper.
It's historical, and it's important that we document it really.
Right. Yeah. And I guess this is kind of a cool way to do it.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening in. We've got some interesting things to talk about tonight, but, it's not just a knee slapper from end to end. One thing that I did come across today that was really super interesting, and I didn't realize that it existed, but I think it's been around for a little while, that I just came across, was that Johns Hopkins University of Medicine has a section of their website dedicated as the Coronavirus Resource Center. And it's really kind of interesting. Looking at this, it's mind-boggling, actually, more than interesting. They've got a heat map of where all the concentrated, areas are globally of, the heaviest areas of...
Like out of a disaster movie?
Yeah, it basically looks like that. A lot of red dots and a lot of, red dot concentration in the areas that are hit the hardest. But as of, 7:45 p.m. tonight on April 5th, it looks like the total confirmed cases globally is 1,274,923. That's amazing.
Compared to what we were talking about in January.
Yeah. And you look at the graph and it's still on that upswing. It's got that big curve. So we're not seeing the flattening quite yet.
Globally, you mean?
Globally. I've heard a lot of speculation and kind of hopefulness that we're seeing signs of the curve flattening a little bit. But globally, man, it's still pretty crazy. Still, the U.S. is in the top.
Yeah.
We've got, out of that million plus, we've got 337,000 plus cases. Our start of it was so far behind China, not to mention Italy, which was another early country in the news. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't even really want to go into the death tally, but it's pretty staggering how many people have died overall, and it's very, very close to 70,000. It's 69,479 based on this website, the Coronavirus Resources Center. We'll actually put this link up on this episode on disturbintheburbs.com. Or you can just try and look for it yourself. Johns Hopkins University of Medicine. I think the website is coronavirus.jhu.edu. I think you can find it by looking that up. The total recovered. Now, I've seen lots of people out there saying, hey, let's quit looking at the death count and let's look at
98% recovery rate.
Right. So, out of all the cases, of 1,274,923, 260,000 globally and change have recovered.
Right.
In addition to the total confirmed cases. So, that's positive. That's one.
Oh, of course it's positive. It's just that there's no denying the profound effect this is having on our world.
Right.
So we can't just try to not make light of it, but try to say, hey, ease off of talking about it. It's like, we're not gonna.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's polarizing, so I can't help but think about it. It's the first time any of us have experienced it.
Yeah.
And I think there's folks that probably get tired of hearing about it and they want to downplay it, or they're getting tired of the negativity.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is it's incredibly bad and incredibly negative.
Right.
And the whole reason that we're staying at home is, one, so we don't get it, and two, that we don't spread it around to other people.
Right.
So, it is what it is on those accounts, and
right.
And you can't help but, you can't have one without the other. So,
yeah, we got to make the stay-at-home order. We got to make it worthwhile and honor the commitment to it.
Wow, I'm bringing myself down, man.
I know.
I'm sitting here. It's heavy. It's weighty. I'm feeling the air thicken in the room here.
Maybe we should talk about the ways we're entertaining ourselves while
Yeah, that's been really interesting too. It's an experiment happening in real time, right?
Totally.
Where people are finding, different ways to entertain themselves and entertain their friends and still have a social life.
In the world of social media, or the era of social media.
Right. That just because you're self-isolating does not mean that it has to be a whole shit show of non-entertainment and non-fun.
Right.
So, yeah, it was really kind of interesting. The first thing that I really saw was a friend of ours bought a bingo set and with the little balls and the roll cage and everything, and she decided that she was going to do this Friday night bingo night and threw it out to all of her friends. Hey, let's do a virtual bingo night. And so for the last couple of Fridays, she's had this virtual bingo
Facebook Live.
Yeah, on Facebook Live, and it was pretty successful. It was a lot of fun. I joined in the first time, mainly just as a chatterbox on the commenting section. I actually got the boot because I was talking too much.
Facebook booted him out.
Right. I got banned. But then I think this last week that you joined, you did the Facebook Live, but then I think a bunch of you got on. What was it, Zoom? Yeah, a bunch of you got on Zoom.
We were doing Zoom, live video conferencing together, a bunch of us, and drinking our drinks.
Did you do a tally of how many people were on Zoom at the same time?
There was only like 6 of us.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't the whole group.
No.
Okay. Because I saw that there was something close to 50 people playing bingo.
Yeah, because she signs all the cards. So you print out your own card or whatever. You do it on your phone and mark it up with an app or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I printed mine out and was just marking the numbers off with the highlighter.
Mm-hmm. And she's giving away prizes, out of her own pocket.
Because they wanted to do something to get people together virtually. And so, they're doing gift card giveaways.
Yeah.
Played 3 different games. And
sure. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
And then I've seen things like, musical challenges where we're part of a choral group. And the members in that choral group, we've got, I think, over 100 or something like that. They decided to do a musical challenge where one person sang or did something and then threw a couple of names out there that they challenged. I actually got challenged, but I'm not much into challenges. And so I kind of ignored it. But
enough people have done it to make it have been a cool thing to watch.
Yeah, it's been fun. And then there's been a ton of, online concerts that have happened, whether they're local. I know we've had a local group up here through Dick's Burgers,
right?
Dick's Drive-In. They hosted they sponsored a kind of a Pacific Northwest, South by Southwest kind of thing, where since they were going to have a concert at venues and realized they couldn't do that,
right?
And because the coronavirus got worse, and so they decided to do it virtually. And after some snafus and false starts and whatnot, they finally got it. I never watched it. I never tuned in after watching.
We were so excited about it.
Watching so diligently, and it was just like when it finally hit, it was kind of anticlimactic, and I think we were watching movies or something like that.
Right.
And
the thing is, we could still go and find them.
Yeah, they're still available out there. But I thought that was pretty cool. And then I've seen a bunch of celebrity musicians, professional musicians, that have been streaming from their living room. Who's that? Keith Urban. I've seen him post several. Yeah, Alan Stone's done some stuff. I've seen Sammy Hagar. A bunch of people
Dolly Parton. Yeah, so many.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing these streaming from home. Not making a dime, but really just trying to...
It's a we're all in this together kind of thing.
Yeah, and so they're just trying to entertain all of us that are stuck at home, and that's pretty damn cool. Yeah. I know that, they're not the only ones that are streaming. I know that... my gosh, there are symphonies.
So many arts organizations have gotten into the spirit of this. I mean, check your local opera, your ballet, the symphonies. And who was it? The Broadway musicals. Andrew Lloyd Webber has announced that he is going to stream one of his musicals each week. Like they're starting with... I think Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, and then it's going to be Jesus Christ Superstar, and then I'm just like, okay, they haven't announced the rest of them. I'm waiting for Phantom. But, there's so many.
That would be really cool. I'd love to see that. I've never seen, the musical in a theater setting, so I think that would be really fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm really excited. And so what I'm hoping, I mean, obviously I love his musicals, but I'm hoping that the others, follow suit, because there are so many that I have not seen the stage productions.
Right.
I've never seen Wicked. Would love to see Wicked.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, if you hear somewhere where Wicked is going to be streamed or shown or something like that, let us know.
We've got a decent sized TV. We can turn off all the lights, turn off the sound really loud.
Right. No, that would be a lot of fun, because again, that's one that I've never seen, but I've always wanted to.
Yeah.
So,
and besides from shows like that, there's art exhibits that you can, like check out the Smithsonian and other museums. Probably MoMA's got stuff.
Right.
Zoos are doing things like
zoos are doing, because they have cameras in all of their enclosures, and so they're doing some behind the scenes. I know San Diego Zoo was one of the first ones that was doing something special during the coronavirus for streaming at the zoo. I don't think our zoo here in Seattle, Woodland Park, is doing anything yet, or at least I haven't heard of it. Somebody correct me on the social media if I'm wrong, and let me know what's going on there. But yeah, people are doing all kinds of stuff to entertain themselves. I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy.
Our stay-at-home lives. It's also something we could do with our kids. If we can get them to spend time with us.
Right. I think Carter's been spending a little bit more time with us, although he has been spending 23 and a half hours a day in his game room.
It's ridiculous.
But, I've made the sacrifice, and I have actually started gaming with him in the game room just so I can have some time with him.
Super noble of you.
Yes, it is. I've decided to go through Lego Harry Potter on the Xbox for, I don't know, the fourth or fifth time.
I do love the Lego games.
Yeah, the Lego video games are a lot of fun, but I especially love the Lego Harry Potter ones.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I've been doing in order to, bond with my child.
Next to your child.
Right, next to my child. So, yeah, I've been doing that, but, there's a lot of activities around video conferencing. I know that folks are having Zoom or other video conferencing happy hours where they're all getting together at 5 o'clock, logging on, drinking a beer together and chatting.
Yeah. I mean, we've done it. Yeah. Obviously, Zoom is like suddenly just the thing.
Mm-hmm. Of course, you've heard of Zoom bombing, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, where hackers have been getting onto live Zoom feeds and doing inappropriate things, whether live themselves on camera or posting pictures or, cursing or,
Which is unfortunate because that's, what teachers and students are using somewhat. I've
right.
heard, so.
Yeah. So hopefully they'll kind of get a handle on that. But there's been Zoom dinner dates with friends. I've even seen an example of how some folks set it up to play beer pong.
Really? So fun.
Yeah. And then there's another app called House Party where I think you can have up to 8 people all logged in. It's an app for your phone. But I mean, you can do a very similar thing with Zoom and other apps. I know that there's tons of board games online.
Yeah. And Cards Against Humanity had an option where you could play it online.
Yeah. So there's that going on. I've seen that if you use Google Chrome, there's actually a Netflix party extension that you can download and actually watch movies or shows with your friends.
So is there like a video component to that? I
haven't used it myself. I think it'd be fun to try it out.
Yeah, I agree.
So I might do that here in the next week. So, I mean, there's a lot of things to do. I think people are getting more and more creative as they realize they're going to be, more or less stuck at home for the foreseeable future. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're at least looking at another month, if not longer. And, it has changed the fabric of society, the fabric of our activities in a huge, huge way. What I'm hoping that there is a little bit of a sunny side to it all, that maybe we'll form some new and interesting habits that we normally may not have had before.
Such as?
More watching TV on the couch. I think that's a great habit. The sheer volume of alcohol consumption that has increased.
It's healthy habits. Yes, increased healthy habits.
The gym is closed. Oh, doggone it. I can't go to Planet Fitness anymore. Well, not like I ever did.
We did walk our neighborhood for the first time in I don't know how many years.
Yeah, it's been a while, but
our neighborhood is really hilly.
Yeah, there's lots of ups and downs in the neighborhood, but I mean that's kind of a
metaphor.
It could be. I don't know. Let's not get into that. But yeah, it's been interesting being at home, kind of under lockdown, even though it's not really some sort of, martial law in place where, the military is out on the streets.
No.
I'm actually really surprised when I go out to the grocery store or something like that, how much traffic is actually still out there. I'm expecting it to be more or less of a ghost town, but
it depends on the time though, because, there have been, I don't know where, I can't remember where I was driving to, but it was literally, I could see one car behind me and one car in front of me, like pretty much the whole drive.
It was when we went to Burger Master, one of our outings, just the other night.
Right.
Yeah, so
safest way to get dinner out.
Right. And we are. I mean, I think we're such social creatures. You and I are, at least. What this whole pandemic and self-isolating has really shown me is how much I actually do go out, or we go out together as a couple, or we go out together as a family, and all the things that we do that now we aren't doing, even if it's just down to the local Applebee's, to have a couple of quick drinks and some appetizers.
Right.
Not having that available, as well as a multitude of other places that we would frequent, is it's pretty crazy, and that again too has changed, there's no other real word for it than surreal. Yeah, no, it's very surreal. And, we're seeing some irreversible effects within the community.
Mm-hmm. Businesses.
A lot of businesses. Well, the restaurant industry alone.
Yeah.
I recently saw an article on the online magazine called Seattle Eater. And one of our favorite restaurateurs owns multiple restaurants in the Seattle area, Tom Douglas. He basically came out and said that he was broke. He said that all but one of his restaurants is closed, and he went from 850 employees to 5.
That's so insane.
And that's basically just to kind of keep his empire going.
Yeah, probably just the behind the scenes.
Right. He said that it cost him roughly $3 million to even just shut down.
Wow.
And that means, when he had to let go of those employees, that he did the right thing by, making sure that all the payroll was paid.
Right.
And that, he paid out their accrued benefits. He paid his sales taxes. He paid his vendor bills and his utilities, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Closed it all out the right way.
Yeah,
as best he could.
closed it all out. And now he's broke.
Oh, jeez.
And and he's been around town for a long, long time. Definitely several of our favorite restaurants.
Oh, yeah.
He started Dahlia Lounge. Has been our favorite in the years past. Not so much now, but
Tons. Palace Kitchen.
yeah, Palace Kitchen, Lola. On and on and on.
You probably know more of them than I do.
Edda's, Serious Pie. That's the one restaurant that he kept open
'Cause he can do takeout.
for takeout. And then he's going to open up another Serious Pie in Ballard here, if it hasn't already. It was going to open for takeout of specialty pizzas. So, he basically said that they'll be lucky to open up, 50% of the restaurants.
Reopen them.
Yeah, reopen them after everything is over. And, that's just one of the stories
Right.
that I've heard just from restaurants. But there's tons of other small businesses. I think of all the small businesses down in Snohomish, the little town of Snohomish that we live close to. There's a lot of antique stores, a lot of boutiques and whatnot that at best they're probably just getting by, when business is good. They're probably not making a ton of money moving, product through those stores. But now that this is hit and they've had to close their businesses because they're deemed non-essential,
Right.
I think, that things are going to look a lot different.
I agree. I think
On the
that
other
so
side.
many businesses will go under and will
Yeah.
not be able to recover.
Yeah.
We can only support in our own personal way as much as we can. Everybody's, nobody's shopping for candles and tablecloths and,
Right. Right.
antiques.
Yep. And if they are, they're doing it through Amazon.
Right.
So Amazon's benefiting from it. But, we try to get out in a little bit here and there. We try to get some fresh air. We go a little stir crazy. So we feel that going for drives,
That's helped a couple times.
has helped a couple of times. And one trip we took, our destination was, we wanted to see the water, and then we wanted to find some sort of destination. So we ended up at Sonic in Marysville. And then today, I wanted to go into the office and pick up a little bit of gear from my office. And then we swung by and got ourselves some Dick's from Dick's Drive-In. And when I say we got Dick's, I mean burgers, folks. Don't read into it.
We brought home a bag of Dicks.
Yes. We brought home several bags of Dick's.
Oh, yeah.
We had Dick's coming out of everywhere. There were so many Dick's burgers that we got extra. We got extra Dick's. And so many Dick's that we had to put them in the refrigerator so they didn't spoil. Because there's nothing worse than a spoiled Dick burger.
Okay.
So the cool thing about Dick's, and I don't know, they were one of the first leaders that I remember seeing, is like, hey, we're going to stay open. You're going to be able to swing by and still pick up, because they are basically a drive up burger stand, and they're Seattle famous.
Icon.
They're definitely an icon around Seattle. They're open till 2 a.m. still, even though nobody's going out and getting drunk and using Dick's as the way to sober up.
Right.
But they're still staying up until 2 a.m.
They are really well.
Yes, I saw that they were still open till 2 a.m. In case you want to drive drunk down to Dick's,
I guess,
from drinking at home and get your burger fix at the end of the night. I don't know. There seems to be that correlation between drinking and Dick's. So, anyway, Dick's Burgers, that is.
Right. I think people have got it by now, hon.
Okay. But it was really kind of cool that, they put the tape out, 6 feet between patrons, and They're very, very careful. So I feel fairly, comfortable going there and picking up food. And I would feel pretty comfortable most any place doing that. But those are kind of few and far between.
Yeah, no, we've done a lot of time at home.
Yeah. We did the Costco shopping and the grocery shopping early on, so we've got full freezers and pantries.
We did the trifecta of Trader Joe's, Safeway, and Costco.
Right. Oh, and Central Market was in there too.
Oh, yeah. That was like all in the first week.
It was the one day we did all of those. Yeah.
So now we really have no excuse but to cook at home as much as possible.
But yet we're still ordering from DoorDash, and we're still going to Dick's Burgers and
this is the week we make a menu.
Right. Yeah, we'll make a menu and start using that food that we hoarded and prepped at the very beginning.
At least we have plenty of toilet paper.
Right. Well, we've got enough toilet paper anyway.
Maybe we shouldn't say that out loud.
Yeah. Shh.
We don't looters? Or?
Yeah. No looters. No looters at our house. So basically it's passing the time. I'm working from home, and I'm very, very lucky to have a job in the digital industry where I can work from home. We use Microsoft Teams. It's kind of like Zoom, not as cool as Zoom, but still very stable.
Sounds more corporate.
Yeah, it is very corporate, but I've been on calls, that have over 100 people on it. So it's very stable.
Wow.
And it's actually pretty cool to have, 100 people from your organization on a call. But mostly it's, smaller groups. But yeah, it's been my life for the last 2.5 weeks is,
Just let you keep working though. And that's something to be grateful for.
That's
for sure.
the important part. So besides work, it's, just kind of home projects and passing the time with a little bit of entertainment here and there and TV.
Well, we've hooked up the karaoke.
And liquor. Yeah, the karaoke has been hooked up kind of, but hasn't been used yet. We got to do that. And one thing you got to say about the liquor though is because of all the bars being closed down, now liquor sales are up about like 55%. I've seen an article recently, like, across the U.S., liquor sales are up. So, people are really stocking up.
They're still getting their drink on. They just have to do it at home.
Right. So, and, I think there's been some interesting things on TV. We've just been watching. What have we been watching? I think CBS All Access has a free month or two, and we've been watching Star Trek Picard, and that's the only way that I was going to see that. I know I was
not about to pay for another streaming service, so I was pretty excited about that.
Yeah, so we're kind of watching that. So if you folks haven't seen that CBS All Access is free for a month or two, get it while it's good.
Yeah, Picard is really good.
Yep. And what else are we watching? We watched Gemini Man, Will Smith's movie.
Yeah, it was decent. Yeah. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we've got Netflix and Hulu and HBO and Showtime and this and that and On Demand. So we've been watching a lot of movies.
Well, a lot of studios are releasing their movies to on demand,
right.
Instead of the theater or concurrent with theaters, since no theaters are open.
Right.
So we've seen Onward, even though it was just coming out into the theater. Yeah.
That was, I think, it was okay, but I think it was one of Pixar's first movies that I just was only paying half attention to. It just really didn't keep my attention during the whole thing.
Yeah, I did.
But it's, it's worth one watch.
Agree.
Yeah. And what else? We've just been watching a lot of TV and stuff. We've got, a DVR, so...
We hadn't seen the new Star Wars movie, and that's out.
Yeah, we're going to watch that here pretty soon. But Masked Singer, Voice, American Idol.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of handful of other shows, a lot of stuff on Netflix we've been watching. So, yeah, that's kind of what we're doing right now.
Boring.
Thud.
I'm usually the one to do that. This time you did it.
So yeah, that's kind of what's going on with us folks, man. Nothing too exciting. We haven't had any great adventures lately because we're kind of stuck at home.
Yeah.
but we wanted to get an episode out there for people to at least, commiserate with us and tune in. And we'll do this on a little bit more frequent cadence. So hang in there. We'll have another episode out next week. We'll, polish our topics, try to think of some creative things to do. One thing that we did set up is we do have a new hotline. The Disturbin the Burbs listener hotline.
Very exciting.
Yes, it's very exciting. It is, and get your pen and paper. Get your pen and popes, folks.
What?
Well, that's
not paper. Yes,
yeah.
I got it.
Get your pen and paper because the new hotline number is, got it? Here we go. 1-206-800-6405. And I repeat, it is 1-206-800-6405. If you have a question that you've been dying to ask Jennifer or I, or if you need some advice and
we are the ones to help you.
We will help you out. If you whatever issue you are facing, whether it's, just being by yourself at home or stuck with your family and now you realize you hate them, give us a call, leave a message, and we will put it on the air and give you advice.
This podcast is not endorsed by the American Psychiatric Society.
Not at all. I can't promise you that our advice will be worth anything, but we do have a hotline now. So if you want to talk to us or pose a question or ask for advice, leave us a message. And if you want to be, live on air during a podcast, leave us your phone number and we will call you during our next podcast and discuss your issue on air for everybody to hear, for us to make fun of, and maybe we'll have a magical moment or two. I don't know. But anyway, we do have this hotline. Do I sound like I'm pimping it out? Hey, give us a call at 1-206-800-6405.
I, for one, am glad we're finally setting this up because I can see it being a fun way to bring people into the episodes that can't make it into the studio, especially right now.
Sure, yeah.
But
or if you want to just be anonymous and ask us something,
yeah,
you can do that too. You don't have to leave your name. I do not pick up the phone when you call. It goes straight to voicemail.
It's only messages.
So you will not be talking to me personally. If you want to do that, leave me a message on the social medias.
Yeah, that's why we say leave your phone number if you want to talk to us and if you want to be interviewed, because then we'll arrange to call you and have your voice be on this podcast.
Right.
So it's a separate step.
And, this could also be considered our Dirty Little Secrets hotline. So if you've got a secret that you've been dying to get off your chest.
I'm trying to make a after dark music kind of thing.
It's more like chicka chicka wow wow, chicka wow, chicka chicka wow wow. So yeah, if you've got a dirty little secret that you've just been wanting to unload,
don't tell us your name and just say the secret.
Right, tell us the secret and we'll play that on air and make fun of it and get some
maybe
great
disguise
content.
Your voice.
Yeah, if it's somebody we know.
Yeah, that's true.
Bonus if it's not anybody we know.
Right.
But anyway, we've got this new hotline. It's 1-206-800-6405. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed listening to us commiserate about the pandemic and the pitfalls of self-isolating and how there's a sunny side to everything. Yeah. Yes, we're definitely thinking of, each and every one of our listeners who we know personally, all 10 of you.
Come on. We hope you're all being safe.
Right. Yeah, I think that's our message, is that we hope you're all healthy and trying to stay as safe as that you can and are doing things to entertain yourselves.
That's right.
All right. Well, here we go. Thanks for chatting with me, Jen.
Peace out.
Peace out. Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.